essentially said that they want to be doing progressive models of agriculture, including food forests, but that they don't necessarily even have the resources to build sufficient housing for themselves. So I want to integrate coconuts and bamboo and different building materials into the new agricultural paradigms, and instead of just completely wild coconuts or wild bamboo, integrate those into the agricultural designs, and then utilize those to build housing for the farmers. Because right now they're doing things like this. They have to collect wood, which compromises trees, and then the palms aren't so bad. Those are pretty.
Let me say something about trees. You know, I think you ought to really rethink this idea that you can't use wood.
Oh, it's not that you can. I'm just saying it's an alternative. If the coconut husks are going to be trash anyway, we might as well make bricks out of them and do super adobe housing. It's not that wood's terrible. It's just if you have, I mean, you can utilize the.
I would say wood is wonderful, and wood is co-evolved with human beings, or human beings co-evolved with forests, and that a more respectful way would be to make the most beautiful artworks and the highest level of craft with wood. And that would also be the highest value. So one of the other issues is, what is the value that people are creating? Because often people are saying that the people here are poor. And even the people here have a kind of psychology of poverty and victimhood. They have to get over that, and they have to have an enormous pride, and realize that this is not a poor area. This is a very wealthy area, and that the wealth is just about the definitions, and the conquerors, these barbarians, they defined wealth in the wrong way. They came and they wanted the gold or the other things, and the other people said, well, what's that for, you know? And that was a much more evolved perspective. So in a sense, civilization has been set back by several hundred years because of this kind of barbarism that led to world wars and massive violence and so on. But still, we can't go backwards. We have to go forward. So we have to acknowledge that these things took place, but we have to say, well, what is the truth? The truth is, this is what wealth is. Clean air, clean water, clean food, a resilient community that helps each other, time with your family, not having to do these silly things to make money, to get money, to participate in this thing. So let's drop that. And when you get to this level of design and construction, you want really art and craft. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. We can make spaceships that, you know, one just left the solar system. So, I mean, we don't want to go, and that was like one made in the 60s. Can you imagine the kind of technology they were making these things, and it's out of the solar system. So we can do a lot, and we should bring those kind of people. So what I've been thinking about is these 55-year-old and 60-year, I'm 60, but these 55 and 60-year-old people who basically retired. So they had their careers, and think about the ones who are like Formula One mechanics. I don't like Formula One. It's noisy, it's wasteful, uses a lot of energy, and it's just stupid. But the precision of the engineering, I like that. What about the mechanics who manage aircraft engines? So there's zero tolerance. You have to be perfect. Otherwise you crash the plane and hundreds of people die. You know, you can't do that. So this is the level of technology. Could you get tools and get these people who are essentially, if they play golf for a few months or go fishing a lot, they don't want to do that anymore. They're going to die. They're just going to waste away and die. They would rather be useful, productive. Have them train young people in these places. So you don't see somebody like getting a hammer and hitting an engine or something. Why would you do that? You're using exactly the right tool. You know the size. You're measuring interior and exterior things with micrometers. You're perfect. These communities that you're talking about, they need to have woodworking shops. They need to have metalworking shops. They need to have machine shops so that they can fabricate any tool, any replacement part. They need to generate their own energy. They need to have earth-moving machines and trucks and whatever, tractors, whatever you need. So if we can get this idea that we're not like too strange for the society to understand, that we're reasonable, the rationale is so clear, we're going to do the work to mitigate and adapt to climate change. This is what must be done for the entire human race and for future generations of life on Earth of all kinds. So within the conventions in the United Nations, and there's 190 countries that have signed these things. 196 countries have signed most of these conventions. So you're doing the work that is already the international policy. Those are like treaties where all the countries say we have to do this. And so they just talk about it. They go to these meetings. And who will do it? So if we can devise the perfect methodology for doing this, then they must support it.
Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Thomas Schofield. We're here at a farm in, or a piece of land in, outside of Lamas, Peru, outside of Tarapoto as well. I'm sitting here with John Liu, and we're discussing some really nice topics on the future of the way that we're going to be living on these lands here, and the future of the way that we believe societies should look, and agriculture in the coming years, and in the new paradigm of life on Earth. So, thanks for being with us.
A ver, chicos,
Oh,
¿quieren
well,
comer?
great to be here. Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yes.
what is that?
That is bananas with
Bananas with
cheese.
cheese?
Yes. Maduro con queso.
Can I have a little banana with cheese, or do I have to?
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. For you? Okay, yes.
I want the middle banana.
Okay, perfect.
That's the right size for me.
Okay.
Wow, it's hot.
Yes.
Red. Red. Is it got black and white seeds?
Yes, only that.
Green this, so you take all of this and then you can cook this either roast it or